spread between 4th and 6th Streets in downtown Minneapolis. We welcome you inside spacious U.S. Bank Stadium. Today, we've got a good NFC matchup on tap between the New York Giants and the Minnesota Vikings. The holiday season is upon us. We've got the gift of the NFL as we're underway here in Week 16. This will be brought out from the middle of the end zone.
The Giants take over first down 10 at their own 21-yard line.
They'll start out on the ground. It's Saquon Barkley. And they'll get to him quickly here as he'll get a yard, just a yard to the 22. Christmas Eve here in 2022. A big slate today of Saturday games. But we will have, ready for this, a triple header of action on Christmas Day tomorrow. I think it's pretty safe to say we won't have a white Christmas in any of these places, however. We start with the Packers and Dolphins in Miami at 1 Eastern. Then you got the Broncos and Rams from Los Angeles. And then finally, the Bucs and Cardinals at 8:20 Eastern in the desert. Plus one more for good measure on Monday. Once the family's all gone back home and Graham has punted out our house, grab the leftovers and sit back and watch the Chargers and the Colts from Indianapolis. And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Now Jones. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Harrison Smith. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. So a big defensive play there on the opening drive, no less, as they make the interception and bring it back for the score.
And I think that's a signal for how this defense wants to play. They want to be disruptive, and you know they're going to take some chances.
Well, sometimes it can burn you, but right there, it paid off. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6, and now the kick is away. And here comes a return from the middle of the end zone. And in hindsight, probably should have taken a knee as he only gets this out to the 16-yard line. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. You know, Charles, season winding down, time to maybe look ahead to the offseason. What do you see these guys going after either in the draft or free agency?
Well, with the season that they're having, just about every position is up for grabs right now. No one is really safe, but the focal point's always the quarterback position. And he may be auditioning to try and stay with his own current team. I think he's auditioning for the rest of the league to try and find a spot because I think this team is looking for a new quarterback.
And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. Getting it to him in space pays off big time. That winds up going for 31. So the line of scrimmage moves all the way across the 50 now as they come up 1st and 10. Jones with a handoff to Barkley. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. Can see this quite a bit on running plays with the guys out wide. A lot of times, though, it doesn't get caught.
You're exactly right, because it's away from the play usually, so a lot of it goes undetected. But I know this will surprise you. I coach some receivers in the offseason. We work a lot on hand placement and blocking downfield. Might want to take that course.
And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. Jones fakes the give to Barkley. And he's going to go down. Back at the 27-yard line. He's sacked. After the sack on 1st down, Jones, left side, he's got Robinson. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. They'll try and run forward with Barkley. Only about a yard there as he takes it from the 9 to the 8.
The yards may start getting a little tougher to come by down here near the goal line. That's good work defensively there on first down, holding them to a short gain.
Here's second and goal, operating from the 8-yard line. Another try for Barkley. And he'll work his way closer to the goal line as he's got 5 down to the 3. This is kind of one of those in-between plays here, Charles, on third and goal from the 2 or the 3 in that area. What do you dial up?
Something quick hitting. You don't have the time for something that develops slowly. It's got to be right at them. If you're
fighting for the end zone, he lost the football. It's out, and the Vikings pick up the football.
I mean, how often we hear about the red zone, right? From the 20-yard line going in, that scoring zone, getting points on the board. A lot of teams call from the 10-yard line in the green zone. That's your money zone. He fumbles the ball inside the money zone. You have one job, take care of the ball. That didn't happen.
And he stopped right at the 25 after a gain of 5.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
The first down run got 5. Here's second and 5. Here's Cook again. And this carry not as productive. He's swallowed up at the line of scrimmage. They'll say no gain on the play there. Now it'll be third down.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
To the sideline, he's got the catch, and he kept the feet in bounds. Well done. A good pickup there, 21 yards.
And that's how you pick up a first down. Not only does he make the catch, but has enough body control to get his feet down.
Second quarter now from Minnesota. It's the Vikings in possession of the football, as they've got it with a 1st and 10. Play action now. Cousins. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete. The Vikings at 10-4 on the year. Charles, they were losers last time. What do you think they need to do differently here?
Well, I don't think it needs to be as drastic as burning up last week's game tape or not watching it, but the attitude has to be what's done is done. Let's move on. Put that one back.
And this is taken in at the 5. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. A big play there for Minnesota. 49 yards. Throwing, Cousins. And he's got it. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. 3 yards is the gain that time, second and goal. And forget about the run to set up the pass. They're just coming out throwing.
Forget trying to set anything up. They feel like they have the advantage. They feel like they have the matchups, and they're just attacking right now.
Yep, going to the air on the opening drive. And he will take this one into the end zone for a Viking touchdown. Dalvin Cook with his 9th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Vikings go up by 2 touchdowns. Joseph connects on the extra point, and that'll make the score 14-0. Now Joseph tees it up to kick off following the touchdown. This is going to be returned from middle of the end zone. And that decision to bring it out ends up not being a good one. Cost him about 5 yards as he's tackled at the 20. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. And job one here, Charles, just keep possession of the football. 2 drives, 2 turnovers to this point.
You're exactly right, Doctor. Hippocratic oath. First, do no harm. And right now, they're harming themselves on offense.
I like that. No one is mistaking me for a doctor, though. But thank you, Dr. Davis. Now 2nd and 7 from the 23. They'll run it again with Barkley. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up 3rd down.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
Throwing, Jones. This one goes out wide for Barkley. And he'll get this to the 23, but that'll be well short of what he needed. On fourth down, here's Jamie Gillen on to punt. That's pulled in at the 32. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Vikings will take over here first and 10. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And if you just look at this game, Charles, on paper, they've got the edge, no doubt. They're hanging around the top of the NFC. On the other side, you got a squad that's towards the bottom of the NFC. But when we mentioned that to the coaches, they were having no part of it.
Yeah, and I like how you said when we mentioned it. In fact, I mentioned it, and I upset them a little bit, didn't I? Because they wanted no part of that one, and I was reminded, like a 5-year-old, this is the NFL. Any given Sunday, anything can happen. They are guarding against the upset.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
As his old brain remembers, when I see 5 wide receivers on the field as a defender, I know the ball's coming out high. They expected it and got there and popped it free.
On third down, Cousins. Incomplete, right side to Cook. And they'll get him down about 3 yards short of the first. That one good for only 6, and it leaves them with a fourth down. So on fourth down, on is the punter, Ryan Wright. Only 2 punts for him last week in the loss as he gets this one away. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Giants' drive will start from deep in their territory with a first and 10. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. And they're in a bind early here, down 14-0. Are you worried at this stage or still too early?
You're worried. You're just trying not to transmit it to the rest of your team. You want to make sure that they stay positive. But at the same time, you're wondering, how are we going to move the football? What do we have on this play sheet that can work? Get back to basics is usually your answer. And make sure you find the guy who can move the ball fastest for you if you just get it in his hands.
Yeah, still second quarter. You get points on the board here. I think you're feeling okay. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
You've got to be impressed by that defensive front on reps like those. They were not being moved off the line, kept their shoulders square, and gave their teammates time to fight to the ball and limit that gain.
Jones throw on target to Shepard. And this is going to turn into another first down as the tackle is made at the Vikings 43. A good pickup there at 22. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another first and 10. Back to throw. Jones. And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's second down. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Barkley, inside handoff. They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up.
Whenever we talk about the best strong safeties, one word constantly comes up, and that's instincts. Being able to diagnose run or pass and make the appropriate moves.
He crashed out. Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Lewis C. And the Vikings will take over here just shy of the 30.
When a team's turned it over 3 times in the first half, we just look at the offense and say, guys, what are you doing? But instead, we really should be looking at the defense. They've created the takeaways. 2 interceptions, 1 caused fumble. They played awfully well swarming to the ball here in the first.
Rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Picked up by the USC man, Adoree Jackson. And the Giants are in great shape here as they take over at their 46-yard line. They are in an interception mood on defense. Had 2 nice interceptions a week ago. Now 2 here in the first half.
Yeah, we call it ball hawking. And the only way to truly be good ball hawks is not guessing. It's not just simply anticipation. It's studying and understanding what they like to do and feeding them to the spot and creating big plays.
Well, they're watching the film, and it's working.
Well, these guys have definitely been outplayed in the first half, but I like their countenance. I like the way that they're having panicked out there, the way they're carrying themselves. They're starting to move the ball. And what you have to do, maintain your poise and start to put together some drives.
He's got his man downfield. It's Robinson. And they move this all the way down to the 9.
First and goal, Giants.
This is first and goal and a golden chance to get a score back here before halftime. Looking to throw. Jones. Touchdown, Giants. Darius Slayton as the first half is winding down. And the Giants are able to cut into this lead in the final seconds of the first half. Gano the extra point, and that'll make our score 14-7. So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. Kene Nwagu now out of his end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And with a 14-7 lead, they might just be happy to take this thing on into the tunnel. He's going to let it go again. And now this is intercepted. My goodness. And the Giants are going to take over at their own 28-yard line. Well, he had to wait until December, but congrats to the rookie, his first INT.
Yeah, he's been a reliable contributor for this defense throughout the season. Definitely got a bright future and has gotten even brighter after making that play.
And they get Jones for the third time in this ballgame. Andrew Booth picks it off, and he will be brought down on what will be the final play of this first half. So we are at halftime here on Christmas Eve as we send you down to Orlando where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach. Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaughan. The Vikings have to like their position. They've got the lead. They get this football as well as we are back and underway for the second half. Nwagu now from his end zone. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24.
At their own 24-yard line.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And despite the turnovers, Charles, and they had multiple in that first half, they still have the lead as they begin this third quarter.
And they probably heard some conflicting tones at the half, don't you think? A lot of praise for what they did to get this lead, but also a little bit of scolding because they got to take better care of the football in the second half. But you and I both know the great leaders, they know how to give that little bit of vinegar in there and cover it with a big dose of honey.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete.
We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is, that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
Off the play fake, Cousins. Oh, going for Jefferson downfield. And got his man, complete. Touchdown, Vikings. Well, he's been doing this for a lot of years, with the arm strength still there, and he showed it off on that one. Joseph connects on the extra point, and it's now 21-7. Now Joseph tees it up to kick off following the touchdown. This will be brought out from the middle of the end zone. And all in all, a pretty solid return. Nearly got it to the 35. They'll mark him down officially at the 34. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. Well, the opposition laid down the challenge and opening drive touchdown here to start the second half. And, Charles, now you feel like this group needs to get an answer because this all of a sudden is a two-score game.
Yeah, you're right about that. What was a small, manageable spread to overcome? A little bit more daunting now. I think you're exactly right. Pressure is on because you don't want them getting the ball back with a chance to really extend this lead out.
And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's second down.
End result of that one, a nice 4-yard gain. So you can use that to set up your play-action game, or you can come right back and continue to run the football because as an offensive play caller, you're on schedule and feeling pretty good about your next couple of calls.
9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down. A first down carry for Barkley, and he is going to lose yardage here. Nice play to stop him for a loss by a Caleb Evans.
I think this running game, or should I say lack of one, is making this defense look better than what they really are.
After the loss, they'll come up 2nd and 13. Off the play fake, Jones completes it to the fullback Ham. And they're going to get this down to about the 37.
Good sure hands there from a guy not accustomed to catching a whole lot of passes. But how about the way he was able to pull that one in and pick up good yardage?
Jones from the gun on 3rd down. That's going to be caught along the sideline, and what a job of keeping his feet in bounds. They say that's a catch. They go back to the ground now with Barkley. And he'll be taken down near the 20 of the 21. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. And that is incomplete. That one doesn't find its target, but all in all, he's been much sharper this week. He was under 50% a week ago, and now he's up over 70%.
But you know it's standard for quarterbacks and receivers get together for a little extra time each and every day in practice. I get the sense they got together for a lot of extra time this week to try and improve that passing percentage, and it's worked out quite well.
Jones now on 3rd down. And that's going to be incomplete. The coverage too good there. The contact popped the ball free, and it's 4th down. So Jones off, Graham Gano on here for the New York Giants field goal. Gano's kick is good, and that will get the disadvantage now back down to 11. So the response to that touchdown on the other side to begin the 3rd quarter. Look, just 3 points, but still a response nonetheless.
You're exactly right about that because I think you needed to answer back with something, even though it's not 6. Just enough to send a message that says, hey, we're not going away.
And he's able to get this across the 20, but not by much as he's marked down officially at the 21. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. As the offense begins another drive here, pretty simple, Charles. They want to carbon copy what happened the last time out when they ended their drive in the end zone. Oh, wide open, complete. Touchdown, Vikings. Andy Isabella, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Vikings are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You've got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions and I'd hear 9 from the receivers, that meant fly route, go, look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way to the end zone for the touchdown.
Now Joseph tees it up to kick off following the touchdown. Taken at the goal line. And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23.
At their own 23-yard line.
The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
And they're able to get this one across the 35. 47 yards on the ground for him now as he's done that on 15 carries.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but There are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
I see a shake of the head as he gets up, and you've got to imagine he's thinking, guys, you got to help me out. He's hoping his team can read his thoughts because he definitely needs some assistance.
On 2nd and 11 now. Jones. And his throw is going to be incomplete. Wandale Robinson, the intended receiver, and it'll bring up 3rd down.
The coverage was good, but I just wonder if they absolutely fooled the quarterback on that play. I think he was expecting something else, ended up with nowhere to throw the football successfully.
Now Jones to throw on 3rd down. On the slant complete to Bellinger. And he will have a Giants 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Under a minute to go in this 3rd quarter as they come up 1st and 10. A give to Barkley out of the gun. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
On 2nd and 9, Jones, he's got a man, it's his fullback. And this is going to turn into another 1st down as the tackle is made at the Vikings' 31-yard line.
A gain of 16 yards.
We're off to the 4th quarter here on Christmas Eve. And we return, welcoming you back to Minneapolis. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. It's the Giants with possession of the football, but needing points as we start quarter number 4. Gives this out to Saquon Barkley. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18. Running left, it's Barkley. Stiff-armed him. And they corral him just a couple yards shy of the end zone. Another nice gain. That's now 30 yards between those last 2 plays. 1st and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. Barkley is going backwards as he'll be tackled back at the 4-yard line. 2 of their 3 red zone trips so far they've come up empty on. They'll look to reverse that trend on 2nd and goal. And that is caught. He's got it for a Giant touchdown. Darius Slayton, his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Giants have got it back to a 2-score game here in the 4th. Extra point try good by Gano. And the lead is down to 11 at 28-17. Gano now following the touchdown here to kick it away. Nwangu now from his end zone. And that decision to bring it out ends up not being a good one. Costs him about 5 yards as he's tackled at the 20. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. Now, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this 4th quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking 1st downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, 1st downs, they can't touch the ball.
As soon as he leaped out and began his route, someone on the defensive side broke with him and arrived just in time to separate him from another reception.
Again from the 20 after the incompletion. Here's 2nd and 10. Working out of the gun, Cousins. He's going to try and go deep again. And that's caught at the 25. And he's brought down inside the 20 at the 18-yard line. A real field flipper there as all of a sudden they've got a 1st down in the red zone. Cousins to throw it. And it's caught. Touchdown, Vikings. Kirk Cousins with 3 touchdown passes now in the afternoon. And the Vikings look like they're going to get back in the win column as they extend their lead here in this 4th quarter. Joseph connects on the extra point, and the lead is up to 18 now. Now Joseph tees it up to kick off following the touchdown. And here comes a return from the middle of the end zone. And he'll be brought down shy of the 20, so the decision to bring it out of the end zone, not a good one. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. We certainly had a sense coming in here that these guys were in for a tough one on the road. That has been how this ball game has played out. They trail big as we continue on now here in this fourth quarter. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Back to throw. Jones. And his throw is incomplete.
This back has been a dependable safety valve all game, so it went back to him when his first read was covered. Just unable to connect, so the play results in no gain.
To throw on 3rd down. Jones. Working the sideline here. Did he get the feet in? Yes, they say that he did. Nice job tapping both of them down. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Operating from the gun. Jones. Incomplete, but a penalty flag is down in the backfield. Let's get the call. So apparently some grabbing there in the middle of the O-line.
I've often wondered why that doesn't happen more often for guys that play center. Having to snap the ball and then trying to get your hands into the proper position, that's difficult to do. He got caught that time.
Calling a gain of 3 on the play, and that will bring up 2nd down.
A gain of 3 brings up 2nd down at the 26-yard line.
They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. Throwing deep for Galladay. And that's caught inside the 35. And he's going to be taken down at about the 33.
A 41-yard gain. 1st down, New York.
So it's Giants football here as we welcome you back. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score. Again, he'll drop to throw. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
And their back's up against the wall a little bit, and they come through by forcing an incompletion. Now they've got to continue to ratchet up the intensity a couple more times and get off the field before giving up any more yardage.
He's got this complete to Robinson. And finally, down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. A good pickup there, 26 yards. A handoff to Barkley on the option. And a little bit of space there, takes it inside the 5 to the 3. Give him 4 on the carry there, and 2nd and goal.
As long as you're good, the air attack has gotten them down here, but now is where you start to lean on that running game. That's a good pickup there on 1st and goal.
And he finds Shepard. Touchdown, Giants. A 3-yard touchdown pass. And the Giants are able to cut into that deficit. Gano the extra point, and that'll make this now an 11-point deficit. Gano now following the touchdown here to kick it away. Nwangu now from his end zone. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And a few kneel downs should just about do it. Now, defensively, they do have all 3 timeouts, but very little reason to use them at this point. Lets it fly for Thielen. And the 3rd interception thrown by Cousins. And the Giants are going to take possession of the football. Well, in all likelihood, this ball game's still over. I mean, even with the interception, 2-score game, they need a miracle.
Curious decision to even throw the ball in that situation, but maybe they saw a stacked line of scrimmage and said, hey, it's better to try and throw than to try and run against it. In any event, I think you're exactly right. Now, the other team can pad their stats, but I don't think they're going to.
And this is taken in at the 5. And he takes this one into the end zone. And all of a sudden, here in the final minute, things get a little bit tighter. Extra point try good by Gano. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this fourth quarter. Gano now following the touchdown here to kick it away. And he'll conserve whatever time he can as they'll opt to bring it out to the 25-yard line. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And this game not quite in hand yet. We'll likely see all 3 timeouts defensively and then reassess where we are. And he's going to lose yardage here back to the 12-yard line. It'll be a loss of 13 on the play, and it'll make this a 2nd and long. Cousins to throw. Oh, going for Jefferson downfield. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Xavier McKinney. And the Giants are going to take possession here at their own 47-yard line.
At their own 47-yard line.
They'll start this drive out on the ground. And he's got it across the midfield stripe and into Viking territory. And Charles, in this one, the fourth quarter became a lot more interesting, I know, than I anticipated. Probably you anticipated. A comeback bid falling